July is already over, so it's time to rank every movie I saw in July 2019. The order of movies I saw were Spider-Man Far From Home, Toy Story, Midsummer, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4, The Conjuring, The Babadook, The Conjuring 2, Stuber, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Crawl, Kill Bill Volume 1, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Insidious, Kill Bill Volume 2, Jackie Brown, Pulp Fiction, and The Hateful Eight. With that being said, let's just get right into this review because there's 19 movies I have to rank. Alright, so starting off in last place is going to be Midsummer. I was really excited for this movie. This was within my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2019, mainly because I loved Hereditary. It's one of my favorite movies. So I was really looking forward to this movie, and this is easily one of the most disappointing movies of the year so far. I didn't even review this movie because I didn't know what to say about it. I will give you this though. The first 20 minutes I thought were great because it set such a uneasy tone for the rest of the movie, but then the rest of the movie just I don't know what it really was trying to be, and our characters felt like objects, not people that we really understand. Well, we understand them, but I had such a hard time even coming up with thoughts about this movie. That's why I didn't even do a review, even a mini review on it. I just I couldn't think of anything, and I was really disappointed by it. In 18th place is going to be Jackie Brown. The first hour of this movie, actually the first two acts of this movie, I'm gonna say are boring. I'm a big fan of Quentin Tarantino. I love most of his movies. The thing is though, with this one, it's I feel like his style wasn't really there. I feel like it could have used more of a Tarantino vibe to it. It mainly feels very uninteresting during the first two acts. The third act though is amazing. The third act is really good. I had a really good time with the third act, but everything before that was just boring. But once we got to the third act, I was having a lot better of a time, and it has one of my favorite characters in it. If you've seen the movie, you might question why I think this, but Max Cherry, I don't know, I just think he's such a genuine character, and I don't know, he's just I didn't want him to die throughout this whole movie, so that was the whole third act was very suspenseful. If you haven't seen it though, I won't spoil what happens, but yeah, kind of a letdown, but still, this was a good movie. Well, I think it's a good movie, but I didn't really enjoy it that much. But yeah, the third act is really good. In 17th place is going to be Stuber. Another kind of disappointing movie because this movie had a ton of flaws. A lot of problems I had with this movie. Mainly just I forgot, there was just so many. This was a good time though. I mean, there's two extremely funny scenes in this movie that I was just laughing like crazy. There's this one scene inside of a store that I don't think they showed anything from the trailers or anything from it in the trailers. If you haven't seen the movie, I won't ruin it, but yeah, just look forward to that if you're going to see that movie. In 16th place is going to be The Babadook. I consider this a great movie, but I don't know why, everything about it was so perfect, and the ending was amazing. I won't spoil it, but I don't know why I didn't love this movie. I mean, I don't know, I guess the point of it being a horror movie and not being that scary kind of let me down, because I was mainly interested in the family drama, but then when I got to the creepy stuff, it was creepy, but I don't know, I wanted a little more. And I don't know, this is such a great movie, and I don't know why it has to be so low down on this list for me, because I just didn't enjoy it that much. Maybe when I rewatch it I'll enjoy it more, but right now yeah, those are my thoughts on The Babadook. In 15th place is going to be Crawl. This was a straightforward hour and a half thrill ride of a movie. I had a really good time with it. It's probably one of my favorite movies of the year so far. There's definitely more to come. At the end of the year, I'll probably it's an honorable mention kind of movie. Just a really good time with this movie, and some more emotion thrown in there that I wasn't expecting at all. In 14th place is going to be The Conjuring 2. This was a really good movie. It had some good family drama in it. Just a fun, enjoyable horror movie. I think the first one was definitely better, but because this one, its scares didn't really get me. It wasn't really that scary. And a movie that's really trying to be scary, I feel like, they didn't do a great job like creeping me out during this movie. And my friend who I watched it with said it was really boring for like the first hour, and I can agree in a way, but like this movie also picks up in some ways and it can get very suspenseful, but still a little disappointing compared to the first movie. In 13th place is going to be Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is a classic movie. I love it. I didn't like, actually I wouldn't say I love it right now. Like when I watch it more in the future, I'll definitely appreciate it more, but I understand why this is a classic and everything. It's a great movie. I had a really good time with it. I was just like, I don't know, I didn't love it. And I don't know why. It's just like everything about it was perfect. I just didn't love it, and that's fine. Hopefully in the future when I rewatch it, I'll love it even more, or I'll love it. So hopefully. In 12th place is going to be Kill Bill Volume 1. This was a very unique movie. From the opening scene of the movie, I was like drawn in right away. There's some things I didn't like about it, mainly some of the overdone blood effects just like kind of took me out of the movie. And it just like, it felt like so unrealistic to the point that I was like, okay, I don't really buy that. Like, it's just some of the blood effects in this movie were just way overdone. And it was weird watching because, like, in Kill Bill Volume 2, they didn't do that at all. So, yeah, that was kind of weird. But in 11th place is going to be Kill Bill Volume 2. I like this one better than Kill Bill Volume 1. Just for, like, more emotional reasons. The ending gets me emotionally when I saw it. And I'm, like, starting to lose track of what I'm saying, because I've been filming for, like, 10 minutes already. This is such a great movie. Great follow-up. A lot of people consider it like Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 the same movie. I consider them different movies because Volume 1, Volume 2, there's two separate movies that I have, so like, I'm considering them as two, but still, I like this one a tad bit more than Kill Bill Volume 1. In 10th place is going to be Insidious. This was a scary movie for the most part. I had a really good time with it. Patrick Wilson is probably one of my favorite parts of the movie because I'm just a big fan of Patrick Wilson. I think he's great in The Conjuring and everything. And this is just a very entertaining movie that I had a really good time with when I was watching. And I remember I used to watch this channel called Mr. Nightmare, and one of his videos, the creepy ghost from Insidious, was on the thumbnail, and that used to creep me out all the time. And then while watching this movie, I saw her and I was like, ooh, very, very spooky, very spooky. So yeah, it's a very spooky movie for the most part, though some of it at some points can get, they overdo it in some scenes that like it really is like, what am I watching, instead of like, ooh, this is very spooky. But yeah, still a very enjoyable movie. In 9th place is going to be Toy Story 4. This movie was great. I had a great time with this movie. I don't know why I didn't love it as much as like 2 and 3, because this movie is almost perfect. Actually, no, I gave it a B+. It's not almost perfect, but still, it's a really good movie. But I just like, whenever I think of it, I appreciate it more and more. And when I rewatch it, I bet I'm gonna like it even more. But for the most part, like right now, I'm just sticking that it's like a really good movie. It's the worst of the franchise, but it's like still really good, and its ending is perfect. If you haven't seen it, which most people have seen it already, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's just a perfect ending. In 8th place is going to be Toy Story 2. This was a great follow-up to the first movie, though not quite as good as the first movie. Still, Toy Story 2 just added more fun to it, and it has one of my favorite movie scenes ever, the scene where Woody is being fixed up by the doctor or whatever he was. I don't know, I just love that scene. And it has some good emotional moments in it as well. In 7th place is going to be Toy Story 3. Speaking of emotional moments, this movie has a lot of them. I like this a tad bit more than Toy Story 2, because this one, it's like, the ending is like really, really gets me, and it gets everyone. But still, this is the most emotional movie of the 4. Maybe a little less than 4. This is the most emotional, like emotionally like compact. I don't know what I'm saying. This just has the most emotion in it, and I loved it. It's a great time. In 6th place is going to be Spider-Man: Far From Home. I had a great time with this movie. Mysterio is a great villain. I liked it a lot more than Homecoming. I got to see Homecoming in the theater as well, so that was cool. I saw Homecoming opening night, and I saw this one opening day. So yeah, that's cool. Spider-Man: Far From Home was a movie that I was like waiting to see like how it would set up the rest of the MCU. And if you haven't seen it, I won't say what happens, but I have some flaws with it, but still, for the most part, this is a really, really good movie with a great, like, I don't know, it just feels like so well built and so well focused that I liked it a lot more than Homecoming. In fifth place is going to be Pulp Fiction. This movie is a classic. I would say the only downtime of this movie is like 20 minutes, like in the middle of it. Everything else is like so interesting and so like stylish that I had such a good time with it. And oh, I had to stretch. I had such a good time with this movie. Samuel Jackson is great, even though I think when they put him as a second main title or main cast member in the movie, I think they made kind of a mistake with that because like he's nowhere to be seen in the second act and most of the first act actually. And the way they put this movie together is very unique. And some of the stuff kind of like fits together. In some ways it doesn't for me, which is like a minor flaw I may have with it. But for the most part, this is a damn good movie, and it's a classic. A lot of people love it. I find so much enjoyment in it. I don't know if I'm at the point of loving it, but still, it's like a damn good movie. In fourth place is going to be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I had a great time with this movie. This is easily one of my favorite Quentin Tarantino movies. The way he put this movie together, and just the style of it all. In fact, the last half hour. I won't spoil it, as I said, with every single movie on this list. The last half hour is like, crazy good. Yeah, it's really intense. And this movie was interesting to me because I've always wanted to be an actor, and I've always wanted to see a movie with like all this stuff like, that an actor goes through, just like put into a movie, and like we just see how things play out. And I had a great time watching it. My friend after the movie said that movie didn't really have a story. Like, what was its story? And I was like, same. But yeah, still such a damn good movie. And third place is going to be The Conjuring. This was a very scary movie. There's one jump scare that actually got me. And it's hard to do that, but like one of my favorite jump scares I've ever seen is in this movie, and I won't ruin it if you haven't seen it, but this is a really good movie with really creepy atmosphere and some great tension as well. And Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are awesome. It's one of my favorite movies, and I'm excited for The Conjuring 3. In second place is going to be Toy Story. I love this movie. This movie is a classic. I had such a good time watching this movie. This movie is like just Woody and Buzz banter. It's great. I loved every second of it, and it's a classic. Everyone knows this is a classic. The line, "You uncultured swine." It's like everything's perfect in it. I loved it. But in first place is going to be The Hateful Eight. I didn't expect to love this movie as much as I did. What the hell? Something just fell in my room. I didn't expect to love this movie as much as I did. I had such a good time with it. Just the whodunit feel of it all. I showed this to my friend, and we were like laughing our asses off during one of the scenes in this movie. Samuel Jackson's monologue about, if you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, go look up that scene. It's amazing. But yeah, just such a great movie. And I saw this on the last day of July, so that was the perfect time for my favorite movie of July to come in. Because, it's just such a fun, stylish movie. One of the only Tarantino movies that I wasn't bored for a second. And Tarantino, even though I love his movies, the rest of them I've been bored for like at least like a couple of minutes in like some of it. But for this one, I was constantly interested, and some of its shootouts as well are crazy, and it's just really funny in some ways as well, and I love it. Well, that's my whole list on every movie I saw in July 2019, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.